we are going to figure out how to find the centroid of this object right here. Now, we can't find the center of mass or the centroid of this shape, but what we can do is split it up into shapes that we are familiar with and can find the easy center of mass or centroid of. For example, right here we're going to split it up this direction so we have a square and a rectangle. Now you can split it up any way that you want and you'll arrive at the same answer, but for this example we're going to be drawing a line right across here and make that division. So back up to insert and we're going to go to illustrations, shapes, and then line. Okay, we're going to draw this right across. It does not have to be perfect. If it's a little bit crooked, no big deal because we know where we're trying to separate those. Okay, back to insert, then text, and then text box. And we're going to label these shapes so we don't get confused later on. So I just click here. This is going to be shape number 1. And I go back to text box, and this is going to be shape number 2. All right, so now we're just going to follow along with what this block tells us to do. Okay, so we're going to find the area of shape 1. Okay, so shape 1, our size is 8 by 7.5. Okay, so 8 times 7.5, and that's going to give us an area of 60. Okay, now shape number 2 is 4.5 times 4.5, and that's going to give us an area of 20.25. Now, we can just do this in our heads, or we can use a calculator to figure out the sum of the areas, but when working with Excel, I want to link as many cells as I can. So if I make a mistake somewhere and I update it, everything else updates at the same time. Okay, so under the sum of the areas, just going to go up here to sum. It's going to select those and I hit enter. Okay, so 80.25, if those happen to change, it will automatically change this answer as well. Okay, on to centroid y. So we're looking for the midpoint in the y direction. Okay, so shape number 1 wants us to put in the area. So we will, once again, link it. I don't want to type in 60. Okay, so I'm just going to go hit equals the area from shape 1 and hit enter. Okay, now centroid of shape 1 in the y direction. Okay, so from right here to right here is going to be 7.5. Halfway, or the midpoint of that one, is going to be 3.75. Okay. Then we're going to continue on before we do these calculations. Okay, so area of shape 2, whenever you start off with a formula in Excel, you have to hit equals. So equals that cell. And now we're going to do the centroid of shape 2 in the y direction. Okay? So from right here to right here is 4.5. So the midpoint is going to be 2.25. Okay? However, we have to always refer back to the very bottom, or very back down to the origin. Okay? So from right here to right here is 2.25, but then we have to add on the rest of this distance. Okay? So 2.25 plus 7.5 is going to give us 9.75. Okay. Now, time to do some formulas. We're going to hit equals, and I want this one times this one. Hit enter. Now, you don't have to do the formula every single time. Excel has a copy function. So when I select this cell, that little green square in the bottom corner here, I can drag that down and it will copy down that formula and automatically do it for me. Okay? So doing the sum, select those, and there we go. We have the sum of a y. Okay, moving on to centroid x. Once again, we're going to do the area equals the area here. Okay. And we're going to do centroid of x for shape 1. Okay, so from right here to right here is 8. Midpoint is going to give us 4. Okay, and I don't have to do any adjustments like I did for shape 2 in the y direction because it already matches up with the origin. Okay, so midpoint of 8 is 4, and I can leave it as is. Okay. All right, area 2. Okay. Looking at this centroid in the x direction. So from here to here is 4.5. So the midpoint is going to give me 2.25, and moving all the way back to the origin, this direction, okay, it stays the same. Okay, no adjustments necessary. Okay. All right, now we're going to do the same thing. A times x, so equals this one times this one. Okay. And then I'm just going to copy. Oh, I must have done it already. Okay, let's try that again. Equals this one times this one. Okay. And I'm just going to copy that straight down. All right. Then sum of AX, click on the cell, select sum, and there we go. All right, we're done. Now we just have to go ahead and plug them all together to figure out the overall XY centroids. Okay, so this one is sum of AY, which is right here. So I'm going to go equals this one. Sum of the areas, which is, well, let me just do equals, and it's that one there. And we're going to treat this as a division symbol. Okay, so the overall y centroid is going to be that divided by that. Okay, so equals, there we go. Okay, sum of AX, right there. And then sum of the areas. Okay. Once again, treating this as a division symbol. That divided by that. There we go. Now I've got my overall centroid coordinates, x direction, y direction. Okay, so about 3.5. If you want to make it a little bit more manageable, we'll just hit this button right there to reduce the number of decimals. There we go. So 3.56 and 5.26. So going up here, we don't really have a centroid symbol that I know of, so we're just going to use a circle. Okay, so we've got, once again, okay, 3.5 and 5.2, about right here and about right there. We're going to draw it. There is our centroid for that shape, and that is it.